Okay, we should start as well. Luke?
What's your thoughts on that game? You seem to be the better side in the first half, but just didn't take the chances.
Yeah, I think that you've summed it up nicely. I thought we were really good in the first half. Really strong attitude to the game, really imposed ourselves on the match. Created a number of chances. Their goalkeeper makes some great saves. We're frustrated we probably didn't take one or two of those big moments. Yeah, I mean, the second half was slightly different. I thought we defended pretty well, though, and kept their chances to a minimum. Nick's made a couple of saves, but the goal that won the game, I thought, was an unbelievable strike from that distance.
Your record about Alexander Isak this season, I'm sure you're aware of it. He scored 1 goal, none in open play, and haven't won any of the 4 games he's missed. That sort of underlines just how important he is to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one to sort of go too deep into that, because the standard of our performance today with him missing was still really, really strong. We did create chances. We did look really good in almost every phase in that first half. Yes, the final action, which is he is probably better than anyone at, or has been this season. I think he's been a brilliant finisher for us. But unfortunately, from Callum's viewpoint, none sort of fell to him. It was more, I think Bruno had a big one and Harvey's had his shot. And then, of course, set plays were a big threat for us. But it was a really strong performance in his absence. I think that has to be the confidence lift that we need when you review this game.
Thanks, Luke. George and then Lee.
On that subject, can you just fill us in exactly how he is, please, and will he be available?
Yeah, that's unknown. I don't know at this moment in time. Yeah, he only felt pain really after training. He felt fine during training, and then just a bit of stiffness really. So he went for a scan this morning really purely as a precaution. But then it became obvious he wasn't going to be fit to play. So I don't know. I think a lot will depend on how he reacts in the next few days.
Is this the same growing problem that's been sort of troubling?
Yeah, I think he's had a couple of groin issues off either side. I think this is one that he had earlier in the season.
And sorry, can I just ask, I mean, you've been saying for weeks now that it all goes to the final day. I'm sure you'd have been looked have been proven wrong, but just tell us about, your mood, the mood of the players in the dressing room. You have already won one cup final this season. I'm sure you'd back yourselves to win another. Yeah,
I think my mood is always the same after we lose. I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, and it takes me time to sort of get out of that way of thinking. I think I will look back with positivity from the game, though I know I will, because there was so much good to take from it. Yeah, I think when you then look on to the next game, and we know what we have to do, and it's not going to be easy, but our home form has been strong. We've really enjoyed playing there. The players are used to big games. There'll be none bigger than this, and I'm sure the Newcastle supporters will make it an unbelievable atmosphere for us. Thank you.
And Scott, Lee.
Did you see this as an unexpected bonus to finish second, or do you think the players sort of were ruthless enough in that first half to really demonstrate what an opportunity it was? Because you could be walking out with years runners up today. Yeah,
I think we knew all of that, Leah, but it's you can't focus on that. You just have to focus on trying to win, and we did. Yeah, but you could label that at us today. We weren't ruthless enough because the chances were there, but we didn't take them. Sometimes that happens. But it wasn't for the want of trying. Everyone was giving everything. Everyone went to the end of the game. There was no inch given by us. I thought we were really, really strong mentally today. It's not easy dealing with Alex's absence this morning. But there was no hangover from that, I thought, from the players.
I mean, to be realistic though, second would have been very much ahead of schedule, and third place is a massive prize to be playing for in the final.
Yeah, all we're looking at is winning and trying to finish as high as we can, and that's been our really strong way of thinking during the second half of the season. We've had to win a number of games to get here. It hasn't been an easy road for us, but we're still in a strong position, and it's in our hands, and I think we have to look at that as a positive and then give everything in our preparation now. We need to be really focused. This game's gone. We can't do anything about it. Second's gone. We can't do anything about that. We just have to focus on trying to get our game plan right for next week.
Thanks, Les. Scott?
Just one more on Alex, Eddie. I mean, is there a fear that because the groin has been an issue for a few months now, we might be talking about surgery in the summer, or is that too far in the future to be looking at?
No, I don't think so. This is a surgery issue. I don't think it's something that needs mending. It's certainly probably needs looking at as to why he's getting these sort of groin complaints. But it's definitely not a surgery issue. It's probably more of a what's he doing to strengthen that area issue, which we'll of course look at and focus on.
And you made the changes in the second half, and without wanting to be in any way disparaging to the players that come on, but Willis is very, very young, very inexperienced. Lewis is a teenager. Emil's a defender. But does that kind of show where you're still kind of a level below Arsenal, if you like, that depth just isn't quite there yet, and that's the next step for Newcastle to take, for you to be able to turn to the bench and have experienced game changers on there?
Yeah, I think it's difficult because I think as soon as we get one or two injuries, we're stretched, and we've said that I think ever since I've been here, and I think everyone's well aware that we are light. We lost 2 first-team players in January and didn't replace them. That's 2 players gone. And then you lose Kieran and Joe, like we have, Lewis Hall. You notice those players missing, and suddenly you do become, and Alex today, you do become stretched, and then you lose your firepower from the bench to a degree. The players that you mentioned are good players, but they are developing and forging their careers in the Premier League. I think they will be good players. But I thought they did well when they came on today. It's no slight on them, but we've lost a bit of firepower.
Thanks, Scott. We'll go to the front row then finish with Martin Harding.
Hi, Eddie. There's been a few narratives between Arsenal and Newcastle. One of those has been Alex. Can you guarantee the only colour shirt he'll be wearing here next season will be in black and white?
I never make those guarantees about any player, and it's not to do with Alex's future, but I'd be foolish to sit here and do anything like that. We want to keep our strongest players. I've said that ever since I've been sat in this seat. We have to try and keep our best players and bring in more good players to make us even stronger, because the ambition of the club and everyone connected with the club is long-term success, and that's the only way to try and get that.
Martin?
Can you believe how tight the situation is with one on the centre?
Yeah, I can. I think it's I think the prize is so big that everyone's fighting as much as they can for it, and we've never got ahead of ourselves. We've never felt that we were there or the job was done, and I know the players feel the same way, so we've been working incredibly hard to try and get the job done, and now it's going to go to the end, to the last game, and who knows what twists and turns are there for everybody. All we can do is our best, and we gave our best today. That's why there's no criticism of the players. They've given so much this year, and we need one more big effort in this last match.
What do you think will be the key element that can maybe back and reach?
Well, I think calmness in this moment in time. It's a week before we play. We've got to be very calm, make good decisions, train well, prepare well for the game. Nothing changes. The emotion will be there in the game. I don't think we have to ramp it up for the players.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you. Nice to see you all. Thanks.